Manoj Kholi, pleasure chatting with you. When Bharti acquired Zen, the expectation was that the reason Bharti is getting into Africa is because it's a very similar market, similar in terms of tele-density, similar in terms of the demographic profile. It hasn't quite turned out that way, has it?
Yes, you're right. It's similar, but not similar. Similarities are that it's a mass population, big population. It is middle class and lower middle class, and but dissimilarities are much bigger. It has different currencies, 16 different currencies, 16 different governments, 16 different, so many time zones, so many cultures, so many tribes, so many things which are different. Now, India in the last couple of decades actually has become more one. If you see, since 91 to now 20 years, it's become much more one. Africa is still very different from each other.
So, to that extent, do you think that you probably underestimated the dissimilarities in the market, or do you think you were prepared for it when you went into?
No, I think it's a learning curve. I mean, in the last 12 months, I've learned so much. My team has learned so much. We're learning about how dissimilarities can be utilized, can be leveraged, because every country has different language. So we can utilize it. And I remember in Congo when we launched our call center with Lingala, I think customers were so delighted. So actually, dissimilarities can be leveraged if we are smart.
But there are also dissimilarities in terms of the business model that you're having to put to use there, and we'll come to that in a bit. But I want to first talk about your targets that you had set before you took charge. FY13, you set ambitious targets both in terms of revenue, EBITDA, subscribers. Do you think you're on track to get there?
Oh yes, it was my target, more personal than anything. 100 million customers, 5 billion revenue, and 2 billion EBITDA. But today it's my team's target. It's a Team Africa target. And Team Africa is confident that we are steadily moving towards this target. Well, Africa is really doing well. Africa is picking up. Africa is a 1 billion population continent. It is going towards 2 billion in next 30-40 years. It has, which will be bigger than China and India. It has a youth population, average age, median age of 17 only, vis-a-vis India having 25, 26, which means it's a younger population which loves music, loves football, loves mobile, loves internet. And I think that's where Airtel comes in. So our timing of entry, I mean, my own personal conviction that Bharti's big bet last year was the right bet, and the right timing of the bet going into Africa, because economies are picking up. Now GDP growth are around 5 to 6%. Economies are picking up very steadily, and in the next 5-10 years, it's expected that all these economies will really go what India did from late 90s to now.
But analysts here are still a little worried, probably more now than they were a year ago, as far as the profitability is concerned. If you look at the EBITDA margin picture, it's about 24%, if I'm not wrong, in all of Africa, as against India, which you've traditionally seen Bharti report 35, 36, 38, even 40 a couple of years back. How much time do you think it will take before Africa gets there? Or will it ever get there?
Last quarter was 26.3, which is a steady improvement in the last 3 quarters. And I think we will see steady improvement in the following quarters also. Because mind you, we are restructuring every element of this business. We are restructuring network, IT, call centers, distribution, people structure, everything concurrently. I think there are 10 big restructurings happening concurrently, which we did in India over 7-8 years. In Africa, we are trying to do it in 2 years. We are crashing all the restructurings and doing it together.
The other sense that one gets in the market is that MTN, which is considered as a big boy in Africa, isn't an operator that seems to be too keen in infrastructure sharing. They're more keen in barter deals, so to say. Has that been a bit of a hindrance, especially for you to penetrate crucial markets like Nigeria?
Let me share here that all our major brands of telecom are very, very good quality. I mean, our competitors are good quality companies, MTN, Vodacom, Orange, Millicom, Etisalat, etc. All of them have given a positive response to sharing infrastructure.
Even MTN?
Including MTN. Because, very frankly, duplicating costs, triplicating costs is no value to anyone. Nobody is getting benefit out of it. You're basically.
But how much more time before you actually see, all these operators reaping benefits of sharing of infrastructure?
Sharing has started. In the last 2-3 months, sharing has started. We have already built tower company, new tower company in every country. We are, in next couple of months, we will start building new towers in the new tower companies, all fresh towers. Then we will move our present 12,000 towers to these companies. So sharing has started already. I'm sure it will take us 6-8 months to pick up the speed of sharing. But it will pick up. In India, it took much longer time, let me tell you. I remember 2001 when I was in COAI, I presented that. It took us few years. But in Africa, I think it will happen much faster.
But you spoke about sharing of towers. I want to understand what is the plan that you have for tower units. We do pick up from sources that you will hive it off into separate entity and then do an Indus-like model, get in other partners as well. You're in talks with France Telecom, among other operators. What do you have in mind for this piece?
No, we have just started. We are in phase 1, which is creating new tower companies. Then phase 2, which will be shifting our present towers into the new tower company. So we are actually sorting out these things. There are new companies being formed, our present minority shareholders being informed about benefits of tower company. We have no plans for Indus kind of JV yet, but because we believe first we need to settle down our own house.
But would you consider talking to operators and getting them on board for a broader JV like you have done here in India?
No plans yet. As on date, we have no plans.
Okay.
But sharing has started. Let me clarify. Sharing is happening with all these large and small operators,
Okay.
and that benefit is already being shared by all the operators.